It's officially spring, and while it may be a little bit chilly outside, it's time to start thinking about your garden. And Master Gardener Ed Sourdiffe's here with some seed starting tips. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Hey, Seth.
So everyone's getting ready because spring, it has sprung, but we need to start our seeds if we want to get great fruits and vegetables by summertime.
Yeah, now is the time to do it. All the seeds have different start times, so it's good to find out when they are. You want to do your tomatoes now, your peppers. This is about 6 to 8 weeks before the last frost. The last frost we have in our area is usually May 15th or even May 30th. And one year we had the April snowstorm. So
the April Fool's Day storm.
Yeah, so you have to be careful. So it's actually good to buy, if you can, buy a book like this. And this will tell you when to start seeds, how to start them, little tricks that you could do for individual seeds. The seed catalogs that are out there, it's getting kind of late to order your seeds from seed catalogs, but you can go on their websites and get order your order now and get them in by the end of the week or something.
And oftentimes I've found that on the back of seed packets,
yes,
they have all the pertinent instructions. If you look on the back of most of them, it's what time of year you plant them, how long they take. Yeah. So you can know this way too.
Yeah. Well, some are better than others. I have a lot here. They don't really tell you when to do it. Actually, the Martha Stewart line actually tells you dates and gives you a lot of pertinent information on the back. That's nice. If you go to the garden center, go and look at the back of the seed packets and see which one actually tells you. I mean, a tomato's a tomato, so if it says do it 6 weeks ahead or 8 weeks ahead, do it. A zinnia is a zinnia, so if you like a certain variety, that's in a different packet, but still write down from the packet that you found that had all the information. So
step 1 and 2. Get your act together and purchase the seeds. And once you've purchased the seeds, what's the next step? Okay, now you brought them home and you're ready to go. So if you're actually using last year's seeds, say you had some packets left over, a good thing to do is do a germination test. Just take a Ziploc bag, take a paper towel inside like this, and then if you want to pour a little tiny bit of water from there in here. So this is for old seeds? This is for last year's seeds that you're not sure. More water? Yeah, a little bit more. Okay, so it's about a healthy splash. Yeah, and so what's going to do is that's going to wet all the paper towel, let you leave the paper towel open like this for me, and I'm going to just take a few of these tomato seeds. They're actually from 2008, but we kept them in a cool, dry area, so they really remained good. And we'll just sprinkle some of those in there, and then you just close it up. And zip it up for a few days, and then you'll check it again, and if you see little sprouting, you'll know they're still viable or they're still healthy. And then from there you can put them into your seed starters. Yeah, and then you can actually plant your other seeds right in there and they'll be ready to go. Now there's a whole bunch of things going on with soil. You don't want to go to the garden and take out your garden loam, put it in your planter like we have here. I use these flats. You can do recycled things like this little box or milk cartons, but I like these flats. And you just would put your soil in there and be good to go. But they have new things now. This is actually coconut coir. It's a recycled material. It's perfect. This is actually, this little block is this. It was like a chia pet, like an instant chia pet. What we did is we had this, which is a very tight block, poured some water into it, and then all of a sudden it turned into what you see here in the metal bin. It just kind of got bigger and bigger and bigger. Yeah, and we actually stopped pouring water in because it would have just overflowed. They say that you actually put 5 gallons of water with this big version of that, and you will get an entire wheelbarrow full. So this is actually earth-friendly. It's made from coconut husks. It's recyclable. After you're done with your plants growing in it, you could actually use this as peat moss substitute in the garden. It lasts 2 to 3 years longer than peat moss in the garden. Really? So it's a good thing. It's sterile. It's a nice new thing. Also, to get your plants going, you can put them in the windowsill. Once you plant them in your soil there, that's a good thing, but you won't get the healthiest plants. So we've talked about this a few times before. We use a grow light. Yeah, a grow light, a shop light. Just a simple cheap shop light you buy with a cool white, warm white bulb. That'll be full spectrum. You hang that about 4 to 8 inches over the plant, and you leave it on for 12 to 16 hours a day with a little timer, and you have really strong, robust plants. Now, Ed, you can run into problems though if you make your seedlings and you put them by the window, and we still get these cold snaps every once in a while, right? Yeah, well, if it was so cold that it was, you felt the seedlings were going to be cold, then move them in. But also, when you're starting seeds, they do have these things also. This is a seed mat that actually warms up. You unroll it, you put it under your thing that you're going to be planting, and it will actually warm the seeds. Seeds like it usually warmer. You can actually start them on top of a fridge. That's a nice warm area for them. I use these tops before they germinate. You put it right on top. Creating like a little greenhouse effect.
And then once the plants germinate and pop up, you remove this. But until they do that, this will actually keep it a little bit warmer in there. The water you'll see will gather on the top and drip back in, so it makes it a little bit easier for you. So these are a couple of the good things.
And you can also repurpose some of these. Are these biodegradable?
Yeah, these are peat pots, they call them.
Peat pots.
So you could actually put these in that flat, and you would just lay them out. We'll actually pretend this clear dome is the flat.
Okay.
And you would just see how they actually fit perfectly. So you just line them all up, and then you would actually add your soil into there.
Now, can you put these right in the ground?
Yes, you can. But the problem, these are actually great if you have plants that don't like their roots disturbed. Some plants just don't like that. So you would plant them in here, and then when it was time for you to plant the plant outside, you basically just rip it off or cut it off.
See, these are nice, because last year Ed was here and he was giving us all these great tips. But what I did is I made my seedlings in the plastic ones, so that when I ripped them off, I had to use a butter knife to get the seedling out, and everything broke and snapped.
Well, if you actually squeeze the sides of a cell like that and then tap it upside down, and don't grab the seedling by the stem, grab it by the leaf, but it will pop out usually.
Where were you last year, Ed?
I was around. But
we should garden together. I think if I can learn anything from this, we should garden together. Ed, thank you so much for all these tips. I hope a lot of people out there, they're going to get their seeds started on the right foot this spring. Okay. So get creative with this and all of our tips, and you can see more at mymassappeal.com.